So one of the final things to talk about when it comes to natural minor scales is to talk about the chords found in natural minor. If you remember from major, with major, if we use like C major, C, D, E, F, G, G, A, B, C, we covered this already, and we talked about how C major had, if you stack in thirds, the E will come on top and the G will come on top, and you'll get C, E, G, D, F, A. You'll get these chords, these basic triads, E, G, B, F, A, C, G, B, D, A, C, E, and all I'm doing is stacking in thirds, skipping notes here, so this is going to be C, and then C skips to E, we skip D, so this can be A, C, and E, B, D, and F, and back to C, E, and G. And we found from this that this quality of chord is major, so this would be like C major, right? C major. Because from C to E is 4 half steps, or a major third, either way you want to think about it, both are correct. And from E to G is a minor third, or 3 half steps, and that makes this relationship here, not necessarily the notes are important, but the relationship equals a major third plus a minor third, or 4 half steps plus 3 half steps between the notes equals a major triad, right? And we found out that this one's minor because it's for the same reason, but this is now 3 and then 4 instead of 4 and then 3, or minor third and major third rather than major third and minor third. And then we found out this is minor, this is major, this is major as well, this is minor. This one's diminished, which means there's 3 half steps and 3 half steps, or minor third. And finally, we're back to major. Okay, this should all be reviewed. This is what we learned about the major scale. So let's go ahead and do this for the minor scale. Same kind of thing. Okay, so we're gonna use this color, and you get a pen instead, and do A. I'm going to use all lowercase letters for this. So we have A, B, C, D. And you can look right now that these are just the same exact chords. They'll be exactly the same set of chords. But we're going to start on A. That's the only difference. So we got A, C, and E, which is the same thing as here. And we can already know that's minor chords. We might as well just write minor here. But we'll just continue this way. B, D, F, C, E, G, D, F, A, E, G, B, F, A, C, G, B, D, and ACE, finally ACE again. Okay, so we have minor. This one's diminished, written like this with a little degree sign. Remember, if we have like D lowercase with a circle like this means D diminished. In this case, it would be B diminished. I'll go ahead and make this a little bit friendlier like that. Okay, so this one's major, so we go ahead and write uppercase M. This is minor, this is minor, this is major, this is major, and then this one's minor again. Okay, so it's the same exact ones we have. We have major, minor, minor, major, major, just like here we have major, minor, minor, major, major, that kind of thing. And then finally minor, diminished, and then it repeats, right? So minor, diminished, and then it repeats there. Okay, so the pattern is just shifted. Instead of starting on just like with the scale, instead of starting on C, instead of starting on wherever C is, instead of starting on C, we're starting on A instead. So the pattern just shifts. So the correlation is the same. Now, we also learned in major that you can write Roman numerals. So if you're in the key of C, you don't even need to write this stuff. You don't even need to really care about your letters. You just simply write major 1, lowercase 2 for minor, lowercase 3 for minor 3, uppercase 4, uppercase 5, lowercase 6, diminished 7, and finally uppercase 1 again for that C major here. Okay, now if you do the same thing in minor, you get a different set, but it's the same pattern, just you're calling them different numbers in different cases like this. So the first one, we know this is the first chord because our new root is A, so this has got to be 1, but it's a minor 1, so we simply do lowercase 1. Okay, so same thing here. This is now diminished 2. Diminished is lowercase, and you put a little degree sign like this. So this is simply diminished 2. And if we're in the key of A minor, we already know because A minor's first note is A, this simply means A minor. If you simply just have A and then a 1 like this, this means that this chord is going to be A minor. If you have a 2 like this with the degree sign, this means it's going to be B diminished. It's going to be these notes. You're automatically going to play those notes. So there's a lot of shorthand that goes into this. Okay, let's continue. Major 3 looks like this, simply uppercase 3. The caps are nice. Some people just do this, and it's kind of confusing because you're like, is this like this, or is it uppercase? You don't really know, so I like to put the caps, the horizontal lines on top of and below the vertical lines to make it really clear that that's major. You could even do something that's really as atrocious as this, and that's really clear that you mean major. I think this is enough. Minor 4 looks like this. minor 4, minor 5 looks like that, major 6 looks like this, major 7 looks like this, just uppercase for major, of course, and then minor 1 back on minor 1. Okay, so these are the natural minor. Now, it doesn't matter what your natural minor scale is. You can have any root, any tonic that you want. You can have B, for example, and then if you have B, we know that the scale is going to be B, C, D, E, F, G, A, and B, and we simply count up 3 half steps, and 3 half steps up from B. If we make a little tiny keyboard here, we can do this, and this is B, this is C, this is D, and we count up 3 half steps like this. This is our trick to find our relative major. So you go ahead and go 1, 2, 3. So it's the same as D major. D major, you simply go down 1 half step to this note. That's a C sharp. Are you with me still? And then we simply count fat, cats, and we get to cats and we stop. So this will have fat and cats in it. So if we do this, and go ahead and throw a colon here just so it's really clear. B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp for fat and cats. We got fat, we got cats, everything else is normal. And we know our chords here are automatically going to be B minor, C sharp diminished, D major, E minor, F sharp minor, G major, A major, and B minor. These are the chords that are found naturally in B natural minor. So instead of writing out all your notes, you can really get away with just this. Just write your tonic that you want to start in, and then simply write 1, and then maybe a chord progression. Maybe you could do 1, 4, 5, I don't know, and then maybe flat set, or I call it flat 7 because it kind of normally, the reason I call it flat 7 is the G is normally it's normally G sharp in the key of A major, but because it's not, it's kind of seen as a flat. It's kind of seen as flat 7. But anyway, don't worry about that. So we have this in the key of B minor. We have a major 7. So we all know that because these chords are found naturally in the natural minor scale, you don't have anything crazy like a diminished 4. That would be weird. That doesn't exist here. That doesn't exist here. So that's really strange. But because you have normal notes and normal chords, you could automatically figure out, oh, B, that's a 1 chord, so we automatically have B, D, and F. In some fashion, maybe if you had like piano and you want to be really crazy, or guitar and bass and stuff like that, you could have like the guitar playing up here, they would play maybe a D and an F like this, split a little bit. And then you have the bass playing really low down here with the root, and that would be kind of cool. And you have all the notes, you still have B, D, and F. That's a B, not a flat. And then you still have B, D, and F. It's the same thing. It's all related to this. This much information gives you all of this leeway to kind of play this as a backing chord. And it doesn't really matter what your voicing is. If it's close voicing like this or open like this, it doesn't really matter. It still will work with the music you want to make. So let's continue this example just for fun. Our 4 in B we know is E minor, so we're simply going to have E minor, and I'm just going to write it up here. Maybe I'll do a little bit of voicing here, just so it looks a little neater. So this note, this is smooth voice leading, because the notes are moving very, very little here. In fact, this note doesn't move at all, it just stays the same. I used to remember there was a notation maybe like this that says it's the same, where these are going up and this is the same note. And this is better than if you were to do something like B, D, F to E, G, B. If you want to do something like this, E, G, and B, then this note is moving very far down. Imagine if you had singers that are singing this. This note would go really far down. This one would jump down. This one would jump down. Versus our first example here, this one's not moving at all. This one's moving a little bit by 1 step. D to E is very small distance. This is moving F to G, which is a very small distance. I'm sorry, I completely screwed this up. This is F sharp, right? We need an F sharp there. Okay, and then same thing here. Oh, then these are backwards. Look at me. Look at me. This is D. This is going to be F, and then we'll throw a sharp there for F sharp. Okay. Yeah. But anyway, if you know this, you can figure this out on your own, right? So, bad teacher. Anyway, so let's continue. We have a 5 chord. It's simply going to be F sharp minor here. We're going to do F sharp minor. We'll ignore this notation. We'll keep our smooth voice leading. And you can see how you can derive music from simple notation, just this much. You can make simple music, or really more complicated music off of just simple notation. So we have F sharp, we have C sharp, and we have an A somewhere, maybe all the way up here. Maybe all the way up here. This is F sharp, this chord is F sharp, A, and C sharp. So we have to put an F sharp, an A and a C sharp like this. And again, you see the very small voice leading. This one's going up here, this one's going up there, this one's going there, and that all kind of just works really nicely. Okay. And finally, we have A, C sharp, and E, which makes this A major. Let's go ahead and do that here. We have an E, looks like it fits right there. We have an A on top, that doesn't move, that will stay, this one will go down, and we finally have the C sharp there. Okay, and so this note is staying the same there. Maybe I could do the equal notation again, just to show that. Okay, so here are, one more time, the minor pattern is simply this. Minor 1, diminished 2, major 3, minor 4, minor 5, major 6, major 7, and minor 1. If you know your major scale, you can derive your minor scale. If you know your minor scale, you can derive these chords, and you can make music that works together because it fits in the same scale. And that's how you can make music that sounds really good. Without even playing an instrument, you can start writing music. And this actually, if you were to take this to the piano or take this to something, this will actually sound halfway decent because it follows the rules of making chords out of a scale.